What's up, Silver Stackers? This is Silver Slayer, and welcome to your daily Silver Stacking video. Thank you for tuning in and supporting the Silver Stacking community. Now listen, everyone, you might have been accidentally unsubscribed from my channel without even knowing it. And the worst part is, I'll still show up in your subscription feed as if you are subscribed. There's a bug going around on YouTube unsubbing channels from other channels accidentally. So make sure you are subscribed. And if you're not and you have to click subscribe again, make sure you also fix the notifications, because when you are unsubscribed from a channel, it resets all those. So you have to click the bell and go to all, or you won't get notified when my videos post. So make sure you do that. Now, there's always the talk of when silver's going to hit $100. Always that talk, right? We're going to dive into the time frame, and I'm going to be realistic. I want to be realistic. A lot of hype is out there, a lot of over dramatizing things, and I want to start you guys off on the right foot, because if you jump into silver thinking it's going to explode to astronomical, unrealistic numbers within a couple of months, that's going to also influence the way you invest, and in return, if you have a false impression or false hope, would really hurt you, So my job is to bring forth some more realistic pricing and the time frames, which, don't get me wrong, silver is still the best investment, most profitable, most potential, most explosive, just might not be as soon as you think, and that comes with understanding how silver works, or why we invest into silver, what it's used for, or also, understanding the dollar or the markets. So by the end of this video, hopefully you have a better idea, a better just concept of the pricing and when it's going to explode, so then you can adjust and adapt accordingly, because it is called a silver stacking strategy, right? We're strategizing, and that's what we do in these videos, so make sure you're subscribed. Now, there's also, when we're talking about pricing, there's a deal going on BullionMax where they're giving out, or they're doing a silver starter kit. Now, what that is you can buy one order. It's just one purchase. It comes with 5 different coins below employee pricing, but it's only one per household. Anytime a starter kit comes out, I always promote them. JM Bullion did a starter kit a couple of years ago, but BullionMax is obviously the sponsor, or the channel sponsor, of the Silver Stacking podcast, the official sponsor. And it's just really cool, because even if they weren't sponsoring the podcast, I would still be showing this starter kit. It's the best way to get the cheapest of the cheap price, but you're still getting very good coins. I mean, it's coming with a Type 2 Eagle, a 2022 Maple, 2022 Philharmonic, a 2022 Round, and a 2022 Bar. I mean, it's all 2022 stuff, but you're getting them for the pricing of less than the employees do, but it's only one per household, so it's not like you can buy tons of these. You can only get 5 ounces from one order, but I would take advantage of it, especially if you're a beginner. It's a really good way to enter in the market with a low dollar per ounce average. The link is in the description. So I think that's really cool. Shout out BullionMax for doing that, because I mean, that's just a perfect timing, and I mean, that's the best way to get the cheapest. That's the best deal online, literally. But anyways, I want to go into this article talking about, will silver reach $100 an ounce? And I like this one because it goes over a couple of questions, talks about some stuff, but then it goes into a time frame, as you can see down here: 2023, 2025, 2030. That's important. That's the important part, because I am going to tell you what I think the price will, or I guess I'll tell you when I think silver will hit $50, triple digits, because most of these articles, they don't give actual time frames. They'll beat around the bush, right? They'll never say an actual date. They never do, but I'm going to. Now, I also do like to play a game called Cop or Drop. In the beginning of every one of my videos, I show an ounce of silver from my stack, and I'm going to ask you, is it a cop or is it a drop? Cop meaning, yes, you would like that coin, you would buy it, or drop meaning, nah, it's not my type, or maybe it's too pricey, I like a different type. So this video, it's going to be a 2022 Kangaroo. Is it a cop or a drop? Would you buy a coin like this? I love kangaroos. Now, it's just a standard bullion coin. The design stays the same every year. Nothing too special about it, but they are extremely cheap. It's just a great coin if you want to buy a lot of bulk, right? If you just want to really get as much silver for as cheap as possible, those are a perfect coin. I love them. Cool design, but it does stay the same yearly, so it's more pegged to spot price. But is that a copper drop? Let me know. So let's go into this article. I'm excited. So with inflation as the driver, will silver reach new heights? Did you know that silver is one of the best investments during times of yes, we all know that, right? We all know that. So that's why some investors think that an all-time high in silver is just around the corner and that precious metals can achieve $100 an ounce. However, when that will happen, when will that happen, I guess? And here we will take a look at what can drive the price of silver higher and when the precious metal can reach $100 per ounce. Now, what is the current price of silver? It's around 2020, or even back then in 2021. This was at the December 2021. Still, 3-4 months later, still around 25. But that is 50% of its, all-time high, which is $50 in 1980 and in 2011. So over the past 5 years, the price of silver has risen 33%. I remember I've been making videos for 6-7 years on this channel, and when I got in, the price was, $15, $16, $17. I remember the first time it broke through $20, the July 2016 high of $21 silver, we celebrated. The average price of silver for the last 10 years has been $15. So sitting at 25, 26, it might seem low, but that's just because you're more than likely a newer stacker that just got in at these really high prices. But not to say that's a high price, I'm just saying you're desensitized to $30 rather than someone that got in at 15. So your perception on what a high price is going to be a lot different. So what could make silver reach $100 an ounce? While the price of silver would have to go up 400% to reach $100 an ounce, it is not impossible. Here's a look at what could drive silver to the $100 an ounce price. Inflation, stock market instability, 3, the supply chain, and 4, tensions between China and Taiwan. And nowadays, 5 could be even, the other stuff going on right now and the virus. I mean, there's a lot of different things, but ultimately, none of that is really what's going to push silver to $100 an ounce. Those are all nice things, right? Even if there wasn't a virus, even if there wasn't a silver shortage or whatever, all these things could push it there just because the dollar is diminishing in purchasing power. But adding that on top, adding a global situation, adding a massive silver shortage, it's only going to make things tenfold. But the silver shortage alone, in my opinion, is really what's going to push silver up, and that is also the time frame that's going to fit into silver exploding. Let me explain. Then we'll go into these time frames down here. I say silver is going to explode between 2025 and 2026 because that's my time frame. 2025, 2026 is when people are going to understand and undoubtedly have to recognize and acknowledge silver's extreme importance and its scarcity. Low supply, high demand shoots the price up. We're trying to go to net zero emissions by the year 2050, which requires the entire globe to go solar, PV cells, photovoltaics, which are in solar panels. It requires a massive amount of silver, and in electric vehicles, silver lithium-ion batteries, 5G towers. We are advancing into a new digital era, and I say the year 2025, 2026 because by then, that's when we'll be in the middle of the Green New Deal. That's when, by the year 2030, every automobile company is going electric. So by that time, there's already a massive silver shortage right now, and we haven't even started. So by that time, we'll be so deep into it, that's when there literally won't be any silver. That's when people will recognize, yo, how are we going to keep making solar panels? How is the Green New Deal actually going to work? How are all these cars going to switch to electric when we can't find enough silver to make? That's when that's going to happen. Imagine Joe Biden coming out and saying his plan for the Green New Deal can't work because there's not enough silver. Imagine Elon Musk coming out and saying, yo, Tesla, we're going to have to cut back production or put it on a halt because we don't have enough silver. Imagine that. Now, it wouldn't look like that, but that's essentially what would be happening. But those are just the mascots. Imagine every other company, Sony, think of any electric company, right? That's when people are going to realize. We see it early because we know the numbers, we look at that stuff, but eventually it's not just going to be people that do research. It's going to be in front of your face, whether you want to whether you want to believe it or not. A lot of people think it's a myth when I show the numbers, all the time. But anyways, that is something that I think people miss on is they talk about silver price predictions, but they look at it from the dollar side of things. They look at CPI data, they look at interest rates, inflation. That stuff is nice, we'll push it up, but the main thing that's going to push silver higher is the shortage. So anyways, yeah, let's go into these time frames. I like how they go up to the next decade. So 2023 inflation goes out of control. The fastest way that silver can get to $100 an ounce is if inflation hits double-digit levels in 2022 and in 2023. In 2021, the year-over-year inflation rate is about 5%. This is the highest rate of inflation since 2008, which, remember, 2008 was the credit financial crisis, which 3 years later led silver to $50. So it is quite possible that inflation continues to rise and more investors seek safe haven of precious metals. Then 2025 comes around, they're saying the US debt leads to rising inflation rates. So if inflation is able to get under control, there's still another danger out there that investors should worry about, the US debt. And by the way, think about this. All this will be happening, so this is also going to push people to precious metals, but that means there's even more demand when the supply, like I just said, my prediction 2025, 2026 is going to be diminishing. So the reason I'm saying the silver shortage is going to push silver up is not only from industry, but also individual investors like you and I trying to get into silver. US Mint sold 5 million Eagles the first month of January. Do you see why I'm saying that time frame? All the pieces of the puzzle are all going to be coming together here because all this stuff, industry, right? 5G towers, solar panels, but also people like you and I, industrial sector and the individual sector, all trying to get it. And by then, there will be such a small amount of silver. We exceeded 1.2 billion ounces this year in demand. Imagine by then, 4 or 5 billion ounces easy. But there's a production of 900 million ounces maybe, and it's becoming harder and harder to find. So, they're saying 2025 US debt leads to rising inflation. In 2030, precious metals outperform equities during the decade. And finally, the stock market simply get overheated. And yes, I could name 10 different reasons off the top of my head why silver will explode in the next decade. I could name 10 different reasons why stocks won't explode in the next decade, right? You have to think logically, and I'm sure you watching this video, you do. So anyways, yeah, I just thought this is a very interesting article. I hope now you kind of get the perspective of it's not going to happen in 3 months, maybe 3 years. But when we're talking about triple digits, I'm talking about, 6, 7 years from now, not 6, 7 months from now. Silver is a hedge against inflation. It's putting your money kind of like in a time capsule as the dollar depreciates in value instead of leaving that money in your bank account. Because 1 ounce of silver is the value, not the price tag attached to it. And once you understand that, no matter if silver goes down to $5 or whatever, you're not worried because you're like, hey, now I can just get it for cheaper. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like the video. Make sure you're subscribed. Let me know if you were unsubscribed and you had to do it again. Let me know, because I did talk to their internal team. They looked at my channel and said, yes, something's way off. I'm gaining like 2 subs a day when I'm used to gaining 100 plus subs a day. And I'm doing a giveaway right now, so I see tons and tons of people subscribing to enter the giveaway, but their subs aren't showing up. So I know that there's a glitch, and hopefully they fix it. They pushed it up to their internal team, but I know I'm not the only channel this is happening to. So make sure you are subscribed. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.